Hello, and welcome to Introduction to AI. My name is Jason DeLeon, and the purpose of this video is to help you get started with the class. AI is no doubt an exciting field that brings to mind many movies and characters from Hollywood, but the technology has certainly progressed from science fiction to reality. While it seems AI has exploded in the last few years, this field has actually slowly evolved and advanced over the past 60 years. At the same time, we are quickly seeing its rapid transformation that affects our daily lives, including business and government, entertainment and recreation, healthcare and education, and even philosophy and religion. Interestingly, we may soon call into question or reevaluate deep existential questions. This video will cover the purpose of the course. We look at who this course is intended for and how it has been designed. Next, I will give an overview of the course, essentially a roadmap of the course material by briefly going over the modules. And finally, I will discuss the expectations of the class and how we can make this learning journey successful. So let's begin. The purpose of this course is to introduce you to the concepts of AI or artificial intelligence without hopefully overwhelming you. We have designed this course for individuals who do not have a technical, mathematical, or science-based background. Instead, we are seeking new AI learners who may have a social sciences perspective or a cultural arts and humanities background. Maybe you studied musical or visual arts, English, languages, or education. Our target audience is for those who are non-technical but curious about AI. No coding is necessary. We will introduce you to basic and simple coding concepts to get you started. As such, we've tried to approach this course with some unique instructional features. First, we take a visual approach to learning. We use a lot of illustrations and try to break down complex concepts into very simple pictures or ideas. Additionally, we use narrative or story-driven forms of learning, such as case studies. And finally, we think that sometimes the best way to learn is just by doing. So we take a hands-on approach to learning. We guide you through the coding experiences. Many learners find learning to code or program intimidating. So our goal is to remove that fear factor and intimidation to help you learn and enjoy the course. This course has been designed to give you a quick exposure into a wide array of concepts and the broad subject of artificial intelligence. In this roadmap, we will look at a quick overview of the course and modules. Along the way, I will introduce you to some new terms, and not to worry, we'll be reintroducing these in the course. While our goal is to not have you memorize formal definitions of AI, which in reality there isn't such a thing, we want to help build a working knowledge of some of these operational terms to help build awareness and understanding of AI concepts. So it's important to be familiar and comfortable with some of the jargon. So here are the 8 modules that we'll be covering. I'd like to briefly talk about them, but I also wanted to show how these have been organized. Essentially, these are organized and ordered in a specific sequence for the purpose of learning, hopefully most effectively. So modules 1 through 3 help set up the foundation for the class. Modules 4 and 5 introduces us to technical and hands-on learning aspects of AI. And then modules 6 through 8 not only introduces us or exposes us to technical AI, it also allows us to start playing and experimenting with AI. In module 1, what is AI? We try to answer the question, what is AI, by briefly beginning at the beginning of AI. We look at its history. We continue with that leading question with how it's currently perceived in media and entertainment. And we look at how experts in the field have attempted to define artificial intelligence. And we even look at how, just in general, intelligence has been defined. We look at how it's currently being used, both in everyday products and services that we all will often take for granted, and as well as some of the cutting edge research. Next, we go into AI ethics in Module 2. We seek to promote and discuss an ethical approach to AI. It's important to not only be aware of the ethical issues and challenges in AI, but that we must be informed and guided by principles of ethics and ethical frameworks, both as producers and consumers of AI. So we explore things like bias and risk, harm and fairness, representation, privacy, and transparency. So it's not only about AI algorithms and models, but also the data, how it's collected and used, which leads us into Module 3, reproducible AI and explainable AI. We consider this as related directly and builds upon the concepts from AI ethics in Module 2. Many of the algorithms and models used within AI or created by AI are becoming less transparent. Many of these are used to inform critical decisions, or in many cases are the ones that are making the decisions. So whether it's for a credit or mortgage application or a job application. We also run into an issue of reproducibility within AI. That is, AI models or algorithms may not often lead to the same results using the same type of data due to the overwhelming complexity and often, again, through biases. In this module, learners also are initially exposed to GitHub, which is a version control and repository system. We will be using GitHub in this class, and as you'll see, it's directly related to this module, and we'll see why it's important to reproducible and explainable AI. Next, in Module 4, we get introduction to Jupyter Lab and Jupyter Notebook, which is our coding and development platform or environment. The great thing about this class is that you don't need any type of special hardware or software to learn to code. All you really need is a web browser, as these coding tools are all hosted in either a remote data center or in the cloud. So there's no need to buy any special hardware or install expensive software. Additionally, this is where we introduce the Python programming language through a series of guided exercises. We start with some small steps and introduce the beginning concepts of coding and discuss why Python is a great programming language to learn. In Module 5, we build on top of Module 4 and look at the basic Python fundamentals. All the modules going forward will continue to use Python, so it's really important, and that in this module where our goal is to make you comfortable with Python, the secret to learning Python and perhaps many things is to be comfortable making mistakes and learning from those mistakes. You'll make many typos and mistakes, and we encourage that, and that's how you'll learn. So just remember to have fun. In Module 6, we look at machine learning, or sometimes called ML. In basic terms, machine learning is just the process of training a piece of software called a model to make useful predictions using data. Some have also described it as the ability to learn without explicitly being programmed. From this, we will explore some basic hands-on coding exercises to get your feet wet with Python and machine learning. And we also look at Google's Teachable Machine, which is a fun and easy way to create machine learning models without any coding. Next, we looked at other forms of AI and machine learning with Module 7, neural networks and learning systems. Neural networks basically is AI software, algorithms, and systems that have been inspired by and is designed to replicate how our human brains or human neural networks operate and process information. We look at some of the other popular forms of AI, including reinforcement learning and transfer learning. The coding exercises here will again offer more guided, hands-on learning opportunities. We look at a variety of powerful open source AI frameworks and tools that have advanced the AI field. And finally, we get to the state of art techniques and methods that have really advanced the field of AI in the last 10 years. Deep learning is essentially a subset of machine learning and could be described as a stack of neural network layers. Deep learning essentially extracts patterns from data using these interconnected layers of neural networks, one on top of the other. We explore convolutional neural networks, or CNNs, recurrent neural networks, or RNNs, generative adversarial networks, or GANs, and transformers. Deep learning has rapidly transformed the state of AI and has really advanced its capabilities. So you can think of many things like Tesla's full self-driving vehicle, Alexa, deep fakes, or synthetic media. So what are your expectations for this class? We hope that this class is eye-opening, engaging, and fun. All I ask is that you keep an open mind. You approach this class with an open mindset, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be discouraged if you struggle. We want it to be a fun experience. In fact, many of the coding exercises may not go as expected, so use that as a learning opportunity. We welcome errors, mistakes, and problems. With AI, you will learn that there are many ways to skin a cat. And we hope you approach this class the same way. So make sure to have fun, tinker, experiment, play, and learn. And don't forget to stay engaged and share what you've learned and discovered. See you in the class. Thanks.